And what color was that wolf you said? I think you told me about my brain space. Sorry.
Black. Black as
Black
night.
wolf. Big black wolf.
Mm.
Okay. Go into the green. So we might also help out there. It kind of depends on where
Hey,
we're trying to find leads.
if you find Cammy, doesn't matter how you find it. I mean, hey, if you like, if you are able to help the king himself to get that information, no bother to me.
Yeah. I appreciate all your information. Um, just so you know, we'll come back through and just so you guys aren't freaked out by
All
strangers
right.
again. My party has a human. I'm obviously in it. We have a dwarf, um, and we have another human that's a little bit more noble born,
All right.
and
I'm
just
certain
yeah,
that you can come in and you'll look nothing like any of the workers here. That I'm
fair,
certain of.
fair. Okay, so
Just
where would we go if we have news? Like, just so I know, just come to you guys and you'll lead us
well,
on to
head up to the manor, as it were. I'm sure that one of the servants will
alert the staff. Or, okay,
yeah, we'll
staff would.
see you
Okay,
through.
thank you. What was your name?
Uh,
Don't worry about it then. If it's not an
no,
important
no, no,
character,
no, 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 no,
no.
no, no. Um, uh, well, I'm Harold.
Harold, cool,
Yeah.
Harold. I'll let you know that later when you need to know that, Richard.
I'll just write this down in my notes because it's gonna be. Oh, this guy's gonna be very helpful.
Harold the guard told me.
Yeah, Harold the guard told me that if I went to the manor, and I go, all right.
What was the name of the other brewery? I didn't catch that. This is wrong.
It
Asking.
is
Greenville. You said
the
Greenville.
green mist,
Green Mist.
which actually is wrong because it's meant to be the Green Valley. My mistake.
Green Valley.
Yes.
Green Valley. I was just like, good thing my pen's erasable.
Yeah. My bad.
You're fine. No, I'm joking with you.
Just because like I've established this through the various boos that have been in the world, so.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the Green Valley, and did he say how far away that was to me? I he gave some. You
He
gave me information, and then my brain
didn't.
remembered that the wolf
He didn't
color.
specifically give you that information because it was just like, that's the way it's heading, and good riddance.
Okay. Then I will ask because maybe Jesse knows. And then I'm going to mentally relay that back to Emmy and Jesse.
Okay.
Black Wolf spotted on the way over to the Green Valley Brewery, and it's 20 gold for a reward for Miss Cammy Granville.
Well, there's our black wolf.
Glanville.
Oh, right, you guys can't hear that. There was information about a black wolf that was heading along the road. Well, at least was spotted or something like that. I guess that's our wolf, right?
I would say so.
Okay.
And it's 20 gold. Not too bad.
I'll clarify 20 gold just for the information. If she comes back alive, that's a whole
Let's
different
get
story.
this wolf. Where is the other brewery you mentioned?
Well, it's kind of further down the road, as it were, like the Green Valley, right?
Green Valley?
Yeah, Green Valley. It's further down the road. There's always been a kind of like strange contention with them. I think it's just them being local to one another.
I'd also chime
Is it
in
a
and
far
like,
journey?
It's one you probably shouldn't be making in the middle of the night, just because you don't want a mule to, twist their ankle and then be stuck on the side of the road. Because remember, we're renting these things.
I would check in. I'm like, is it the same direction that the tracks were from? Because I would have told them about the tracks. Because the tracks might lead to somewhere we should investigate, and we know where she's possibly going that we can go tomorrow.
Know that the tracks would be leading away from where the road would be.
Okay. So I'd mentioned maybe we should see if we can find the location of the tracks, and then if we can, great, we'll go to bed, get some rest, head over to the other brewery in the morning as a tentative plan.
Yeah.
And then I'll head back, hopefully with Durst in tow.
I'm uncertain about that. It seems I don't know if it seems like there's been problems that have shown
That's
up.
fine.
So
that's why I just was saying like if.
yeah, no, good
So I'm gonna head
attempt.
back.
Good attempt.
And then start tracking those tracks.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say that you hold on to the same survival check because like that's what it
Okay.
was. But what you end up going over to is what appears like a fairly shallow cave that's been very rudimentally sort of like blocked off via like wood planks and like all these other sort of things that are there. That's like more like it's kind of been like barricaded, and that barricade has been absolutely destroyed. Um,
So the prison. Are there any tracks anywhere else that lead? Kind of like there might have been like a consistent check-in.
uh, yeah. Roll me. Okay, this is a new survival check.
Yeah. Anybody else doing anything while I'm doing things?
Lucy, you have survival. You could actually help with this if you feel like it. Cool. So you both check out. Whoever has the highest survival, roll with advantage.
I have +5.
Oh yeah,
Are you
you're
the same?
Jesus. Go ahead.
Oh,
Carry on.
cool. Okay, cool.
Mm.
So that 15. You get to see that there's a lot of like normal sort of like foot traffic. That is like boot prints that are there. And the most recent tracks are of the bear variety.
makes sense because it came out
That's
recently.
kind of come over here. And looking around, you don't notice any black fur anywhere.
Because all I remember is them talking about them getting something for her, getting her stuff,
Right.
but we don't know where she was. And obviously, me hearing she's ran off to another location, that implies either she wasn't really cool with waiting around, or their meeting had gone past what she was willing
What you
patiently to do.
Do notice if like do you look into like the sort of cave and stuff?
I can do an investigation to do that, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Do it up.
Yeah. 22.
Oh yeah. You look through there, and you scour the cave, and you see not any. You see no black fur, but you also see the silvery white fur of the werewolf that you fought.
That's a shame. Okay. And then it looked like this was a camp. There's like just a possible they maybe.
You, through this
That's-
investigation check, become very aware that this was incredibly hastily built.
Okay.
Um,
And then I'm basically wondering where the stuff is that the other 3 cultists, they're walking around, but they wouldn't have carried everything. I'm assuming they had, unless they were, per you.
you like you see nothing permanent around this place.
Yeah. No
You
left
get
behind
the-
belongings.
Yeah, you get the impression that they don't live out here.
Yeah.
More so than anything.
Okay. Did you guys follow me to this location? All of you? I know Lucy technically. What'd you guys do?
Yeah, what's everyone
I don't
else
know. There
doing?
was a lot that went on. We went back to the place, then came back, and then
Yeah, Ashley,
I
like
went to go get Durst, technically, because I could dash there really fast while you guys
Yes.
took a short rest. And then after I came back, followed the tracks of
That-
where the werebear and the wolf came from.
that Lucy definitely came with you. I'm assuming that Emmy did too. Like the whole group came with you.
That's what I was wondering.
pretty
I was just like, you guys are here, right?
Um,
Do you guys want to go back to the inn and sleep and then head, or do you guys want to see if any of these tracks lead somewhere else?
Emmy would like to go to bed. if
Sure.
our main target is out of range.
Yes, I believe so. Because we
Okay,
went the
if you
exact
want to
opposite
take
direction.
this in the most like bounty hunter methodology,
Sure, really.
our main target's out of range. Like,
The money pit pot. The honey
Yeah.
pot? The honey
the money
pot.
pot. Yeah.
The money is tomorrow.
The
Money.
money is
Therefore,
tomorrow.
rest.
The sleep is today.
Alright. Well, then we'll head back to Vienna, I guess.
Yeah.
No one has opinions. Everyone's good with that. Emmy's good with
Very
that.
good.
Yeah, I think everyone's good.
This looks to Jesse as, after all, this was Jesse's idea to come out here.
What you're saying that I'm not gonna want to go back to heal my wounds and my compatriots' wounds? Is that what you're what you're looking for?
Well, it just shrugs.
Yeah. All right.
Let's all get along.
Yeah. I know you faced down a werebear for the majority of that, so like
Just saying, this was your idea. You
Okay.
called-
coming into a pillar devoted to a moon and fighting a whole bunch of were creatures that I don't even know if we are now diseased or whatever that works out as. Not my idea.
You're a paladin, you would know.
Yeah, every paladin knows exactly whether a werewolf biting you would disease you or not, especially if they've been cursed or blessed by the moon itself.
Yeah, we'll find out later, I guess.
Yeah, that's my forte. Absolutely.
I think wouldn't you feel it? Like, don't you have like okay.
I don't know. I mean, hey, you're the one that I know that have, like, from talk around town, have the most experience with diseases, so, like, you tell me.
This is true.
Yeah, definitely. You would know if you're diseased.
Alright. Do you feel it? Wait, you didn't even
When
get
it
touched.
kicks in.
Emmy, do you feel different?
I'm
okay,
gonna do
pass
like
the
a very
concussion. We'll see when you wake up in the next morning and, if you suddenly have a beard or something. Yeah, let's...
Maybe you'll get like
head
super
back.
cool fingernails, like clawy nails.
Yeah, let's head back. Let's go.
We head back. What time is it when we actually get there?
Lucy, come with us.
Yeah, does Lucy come with, or is just like, I'm in the woods, finally? Like...
How far is this from the?
Let's
Like,
see.
under an hour?
Under an hour for a rogue moving at like full rogue speed. It's a good
And
trek
well.
through the woods. Then you have to jump over. Then you have to go through a barley field. So
We can come get you later. We know where you're at.
Or just meet us at the inn tomorrow.
For
Sit
breakfast.
and lean up against the pillar
okay,
and just chill there.
all right.
Next.
Enjoy your sleep and the
Most
pillar.
watching curiously as Lucy is all about just like touching the pillar and not turning into a wild animal.
Lucy's just like, this pillar's chill. I like this pillar.
I didn't say a prayer. I didn't pray. I just sat here.
Yeah, I know. You better hope you don't fall asleep on that, and then like the day comes, and then you're like, oh fuck. Like...
It'll be fine.
Okay, so you just spend the night in the woods.
How was that different from Lucy's?
With a whole bunch of dead bodies around you.
I'm just- That's fine.
I'm going to remind you that you do have a whole bunch of dead bodies around you that smell of blood, and any predators are going to be drawn to this location.
Let them come.
Cool, cool. Night.
Sure.
She's right.
All right.
Lucy's just on a suicidal mission, I guess.
I think Glimwell would stay with Lucy.
Okay. Enjoy your nice night. Are you
Okay.
going to touch the pillar too?
I think even if I said a prayer and touched it, I'm already spoken for, so to speak.
Oh, well then. Didn't know that you were in a relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty volatile. I don't know.
Pretty passionate, chaotic.
Not.
I mean, same, but The pillar's not hurting me, so.
Alrighty, well, Emmy, Jesse, and I.
Head
Head
back to
back.
civilization. Yeah.
Is Jesse gonna come sleep in the? Do you have bugs in my house? Is Jesse gonna come sleep in the thing with us?
Jesse's gonna specifically ask. It's like, do you need someone? Like, gonna be. I want to be very adamant. Do you need someone to make sure that the cart doesn't get taken or anything goes wrong? Because that's very unlikely to happen. But I'm just asking if it's absolutely needed for someone to do that, and I'm not
No.
volunteering. But I want to make it very clear that someone could do that, just to put that out there.
Do you guys want the room alone? I can take the cart.
That wasn't even what I'm suggesting. That is so far beyond what would be expected.
Enjoy the room.
Totally was going to suggest.
And you guys can take the bed because you actually had damage.
I just
don't
didn't
have
want to
any.
sleep in the cart alone at night with werewolves on the loose after going through a long-winded fight where the one person who brought me out on this trip nearly died.
You guys did
Aw.
take damage, so go ahead and take the bed if you want to.
Sure.
You guys can fight over top bunk.
Well,
or
we
bottom bunk.
have 2 beds.
Yeah, but I was taking my bed spot and letting you guys figure out the mattresses if you wanted to pull them off and sleep on the floor together or sleep top to bottom. You guys get the room, whatever section, part of the partition. I'm gonna sleep in the cart.
Are you sure? I mean, you can just yell at the guards tomorrow if someone steals our cart.
Oh,
You
I
don't
would
have
sleep
to
in the
s-
cart so you guys have some privacy. Was what I was thinking.
I mean, I'm pretty beat up
Sure,
tonight, but whatever
that's
you want.
Very generous of you.
Thank you, Ash.
Privacy to heal. There you go.
Right. We'll have no privacy inside of a bunkhouse. Listen,
In the bunk bed, you'll be able to
Oh yes, bunk beds are known for their privacy, of course.
have your time to heal.
Yeah. It's like,
Bye.
yeah, come along, Captain. I've got sleep to have.
Sleep to have.
Right. So it's just Lucy and Glim out in this clearing. How do you figure that? Like, what's going on with you two?
Story here.
Nick, you're muted. There
Now,
you go.
yeah,
Yeah, now,
okay.
now I can hear you.
That was weird.
Yeah, I just saw your mouth moving, and I'm like, that seems like important stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So, Glimloyal is going to take out her hatchet and proceed to start, as best as a hatchet can, to dig some graves.
Sure, yeah. The ground is... There's like some light sort of like grass and stuff there, and like a lot of the root systems are kind of like far enough away that like you can dig some, like, they're kind of shallow, but like you can start working away at it. The,
Yeah,
like,
and she's gonna stick the glowing sword in the ground to act like a campfire, like a lantern.
oh, cool. Okay, I thought you were like, I'm making that as like the gravestone of the guy, but
Not that I'm taking that.
yeah, I know that's what I was like. Oh, that's really generous, and I'm like, no, something else is happening. Yeah, okay, so yeah, there's this fucking cool ass scene where it's like the yellow moon's up and there's this pillar. Lucy's like leaning on it, watching you dig these graves as like the rest of the thing is being is emanating from this this great sword.
Yeah,
We
however,
could see him though and ask, like, we could burn them if you wanted.
we could, but I don't really want to smell that.
Okay.
Are you digging individual graves?
How many of the cultists, the ones that we were talking to,
So there was
Are-
2 cultists who still are human formed, and then there's one extra one that turned into a werewolf.
so I'll dig 3.
Okay.
1 each for the ones that have not transformed, and then 1 big one for the abominations.
Okay, cool. So that would be 2 graves for the ones that are still humans, and then just a big mass abomination grave. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
That's all. She doesn't really look at Lucy or pay much attention. She's very task oriented here. She kind of feels
Okay.
a bit like at fault because of her negotiations bringing everything here and
Mm.
getting killed.
Okay. Lucy, perception check. I like that I've instilled a certain level of distrust whenever I say that. Ooh, that's very neat. You see. Oh no, that was Ashy's 22. No, you only have an 8. Uh. Uh.
Can I give her my inspiration that I don't have because we haven't given it out for a while?
I will say that people did some cool things inside of there.
For adversity. So
You do also have, you probably do have some adversity tokens off of like this stuff. So, if you want to sort of continue that, but just with that check alone, you do see a single raven resting on one of the branches, watching as the bodies are being buried.
Have I put this together that these birds are connected to Lucy? We've seen them.
Roll a perception check too.
Well, not if I notice the bird. I noticed previous birds. Like, am I smart enough to make that connection?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you had a fairly obvious connection that was, holy shit. You had a fairly obvious connection to them back at the vault, considering, like, Lucy straight up climbed up the entire scaffolding to interact with these birds. So you realize there's some connection there, but, you look up and you see the bird.
You said a raven.
I
Is
said
it
a raven.
crow or raven.
It's a
You
raven.
did say a raven. I don't have. I've only had dealings with the crows.
No, you've had dealings with a specific raven. One time.
Was that when she stepped into the water and faded into Fae?
No, it was
Oh.
before that.
Oh.
Because that's the bird that talked to you.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say with that high of a perception check, you catch a glimpse of what looks like almost like a tree moving far into the background of the woods.
A
Like-
tree.
Like almost it appears as if it's like branches, thin and kind of like not gangly, but like spindly, kind of like quickly kind of like shifting along, and then it goes out of sight.
Have I ever seen anything like this before? Or do I know? Is this like a childhood story in the north? Don't go in the woods, kind of thing.
That's a really interesting idea. Roll history.
Can I help him with that check?
I'm saying that like he's looking at some. I'm saying that Glim is looking at something that you are not perceiving, so you don't know this check's even happening.
I don't know why. Oh yeah, the 13.
So that's a 13. You have heard many sort of like nursery rhymes and various stories in the north of like about, like, not being out at night and stuff, but nothing particularly relates to what you saw for that moment. Like, there's a lot of, like, vague hints towards some, like, some things that are out there, but that was different. And really, the only one you can really think about is, let me see, is, like an old nursery rhyme, regarding, Mother Death, as they call her, who is very much about, like, rising in the winter and sort of thing, but, like, you don't think it has much of a correlation other than that. Just it's like it's vague and it's like a be careful at night.
Gotcha. I'll continue to work.
Yeah. Like you don't get the vibe that it's like coming close or anything. It's just
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I will speak out, and I will be like, I mean, I see the bird. I'm guessing, like the others at the vault, it has something to do with you. You said you were from the woods in the north, but I don't know too many people that, one, would go in them, two, would be from them. She just leaves it open. Continues digging.
If you have a question, then ask it.
I don't know. It just seems strange. That's all.
Many things are strange.
I agree. I mean, you've seen.
Like a noble woman who can grow a tail.
I was just gonna say you've seen firsthand my own oddities.
Lucy will get up and help him dig the graves. She's ignoring the raven for right now, but she'll help him. She'll help her dig, and repeat. If you have a question, then ask it.
Do you miss the woods up north? Or do you get
I do.
homesick for anything up there?
Homesick implies that I have a home, but I do miss my woods.
Wouldn't those woods be your home, or?
I'm not sure.
What was any? Were there like mountain ranges or anything? I'm also from the north. I'm just trying.
You're talking about like geography wise?
I'm talking. I'm asking her to try like any defining landmarks about your forest.
Where I think the forest leads to the Fey Woods, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
You're
at
like
the
in
base
the
of mountain.
northeastern,
Mhm.
like corner of the principalities.
Yeah. Am I familiar with that area? Right.
That area is you're on the western side because you were along the coastlines. So a lot of the stories that come out of that are like very much of like, oh, they're kind of like shifty sort of folk that are like, they don't sort of talk much, and they're full of like strange mystery and superstition and folklore, and whatnot. And because also you were like, inside of one of the major cities of the north, so it's like those are like kind of weird country bumpkins.
Okay.
Which, like, yeah, rude, but also Lucy's, like, very much kind of, like, fulfilling that prophecy.
No, I don't really have any questions. Well, maybe I do. Do you want to go back there?
Sometimes. And sometimes I want to go where no one knows me.
Were there people that knew you up north in your woods?
Some out of character. I'm gonna respond to that question, and Rich, you tell me if it fits.
You remember siblings. You remember people. I'm gonna say that, like, you can't remember them clearly, though.
Right. They're
You're
all,
not
like,
sure
dream
why.
people.
Like, your memory is like they come up as shadows that you have some attachments to.
I don't know if I know. I don't know if I have the words to answer that.
Makes sense.
I remember people, but it's like dreams more than memories.
Perhaps that's for the best. I remember my family and my parents are assholes. But my uncle and my cousin were good sorts. I suppose most of my extended family, House of White, isn't all that bad. But I think that depends on your viewpoint. If you asked Doris, he would probably have a much different answer.
I think it's better to create your family than to accept the one you were given.
And I'm gonna say your axe feels kind of heavy in your hand as you say that, as you kind of like. Are you holding onto your axe currently while you're doing this?
I
Of
am
course,
holding
yeah.
it.
You feel like a
Wait,
strange.
before I like create your family as in make bonds on your own, like make these relationships on your own as opposed to like you're related to me so I love you.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, the weight of that, like, that axe feels just like a little bit more inside of your hand there, as like you think over all these ghosts of your past inside of your mind, and you know the person who's actively in front of you engaging with you, and it's and we're gonna kind of leave it there for this session. So yeah, and sorry that we couldn't get you in earlier, Ben. Happy to have you, and we'll give you a quick recap over all the craziness that occurred.
I want to hear people's highlights. I'm excited. For
Yeah,
that.
we'll do that. And in the meantime, yeah, that's it for this session.